Well, recently I've been communicating with all sorts of people that deal with immigration. There's a problem in Israel also with immigrants that came here and stayed illegally, and now they are being deported back to Africa. And in Europe, they complain that they can't sustain without immigrants, so they open their doors widely to let people in. They open them so wide that immigrants become more active than native population, so that's how the country ends. But if we look at the whole system as a complex, then we need to ask ourselves, who's profiting from immigrants? Why should they work? Nature does things in a complex, integral way. It reduces the size of family, it reduces number of kids per family, it changes demographical picture of the world. Why? Why does it act in this way? Try to consciously approach these issues. Look at it. Why is it so? Maybe we don't need it so much. If today we become a society, not a society of consumers, but a society of rational consumption, then we won't need any additional working force. And immigrants are simply used as that working force. And they usually don't occupy villages or farmlands close to the soil, but they remain in the city. They occupy the center of the large city and gather there in all kinds of hangout places. Are these kind of people we would expect? I'm not saying that they are some kind of social trash and that we should ignore them. What I'm saying is that if we would accept what nature is offering to us as our blueprint, become a society of rational consumption, we wouldn't have a need for additional working force. We could feed ourselves and live normally. We could feed those retired people, although there are many of them today. We could sustain. The nature took course toward reduction of human population. Even those countries from which all those immigrants come from, even their families become smaller, only 2-3 children in a family instead of 8-10 like it used to be. So we must see the trend. You can't save the situation by use of immigrants. Moreover, you create such a sharp internal social problems and tensions, and all that simply for those who are profiting on this while it lasts. And the fact that all that is done at the expense of the country or population, the fact that France is no longer France as we knew it, Germany is not a good old Germany anymore, and Russia is even worse. I don't know. It seems like it seems to me that it's simply it's again the Genghis Khan's horde. I have nothing against it. It's not my business. But people need to realize what they are doing to their country and to their culture. Maybe they have reached the triumph of communism already. I don't know. And everybody is equal and such. But even if so, then where's the preliminary education? The same mistake that was done back in 1917 in Russia when they made revolution with use of terror rather than through conscious recognition of the need. When the population was enforced into communism forcefully and not through education. The same thing here. You'll get such an unrest, like those soccer fans that you see what they do before and after the game. What happens? Here it will be even worse. You'll have a civil war because people don't feel like they are coming to connect with each other. We need to implement massive actions of uniting the population. But how can it be done if you have such antagonistic branches in it? Like in France, between French Catholics and Arabs. Like in Russia, between Tatars, Chechens and other. They're also sort of Arabs, Muslims at least. Between them and Russian Orthodox, I don't know. It's being charged up. It's a delay action bomb, and it's such a bomb that there is no need for a nuclear war anymore. Look at what's happening in Syria. Only because there are those Shiites and Sunnis. Look at what's happening between Saudi Arabia and Iran. Israel has nothing to do with it. It's just a shade topic for discussion. Meaning when I want to scream at you, I don't do it directly at you, but at your friends, let's say. Look at what's happening. And nobody is handling the education. And while it's the only remedy for our survival, everyone has accumulated such staggering amount of poison gas weapon and rockets. Today it's two common type of weapons, poison weapon and rockets. There's so many of them that there won't be any life left in any country. You're just simply leveling everything and done with it. But you are, well, you've told us a lot right now. You're very informed about the world. And what are you doing with it? Are you using all this knowledge, all this information for analysis? Or no, I simply feel the world. I sense it. And in fact, this world does not require such extensive knowledge about it. I don't know. What? Because I said few things about immigrants, about politics, I understand the kernel, the meaning of things that happen, that come from the depth of the world, the depth of the nature, spiritual world. It's all the same. Meaning, on top of the shell, you can say, that we call our world, all spiritual forces manifest themselves in such a insignificant way.